as a man, there's things that naturally repulse you, things that you will naturally find disgusting, and these are things that almost all of us as men will agree on. And there's evolutionary reasons behind this. So, don't be hard on yourself and don't worry too much when the general media is trying to shame you for, being disgusted for certain behaviors you spot in female nature. It's completely natural. The whole reason you feel this way when you see these certain behaviors is because that's what was successful in evolution. The guys who didn't feel that way were less successful in the gene pool because, they didn't have DNA testing back then. So those guys who didn't feel disgusted by those behaviors so often, they didn't pass down their DNA. They might have dedicated resources to some whore cave woman wife, as we just discussed in the dual mating strategy video, but because they may have not been disgusted by certain behaviors, they may have picked the wrong mate, and they may have accidentally dedicated their life and their resources to an offspring that was not biologically theirs, and thus they were eradicated from the gene pool. Now, there still are some guys out there who aren't disgusted by this behavior, and they will have less success in evolution, perhaps not so much in the modern day, but that's a whole other topic to go into. But anyway, I wanted to talk about how to manage this natural disgust that you feel as a man, how to control it, because it actually is disadvantageous for you to go around articulating this disgust.
Before then, let's take a look at this debauchery that no one asked about.
Now, this doesn't mean you need to go around supporting it like the fucking soy boys who are like supporting, women being sluts and all. I'm not telling you to do that, okay? But I'm telling you, you need to sort of shut the fuck up, okay? I need you to look at someone like Drake. Look at how he loves strippers. He loves strippers. He loves hoes. He doesn't talk shit about them. He doesn't, say they're doing promiscuous things. Nah, he loves it. He enjoys them because he knows how to categorize them. That's what matters. As a man, you need to know how to properly categorize them. There's recreational use only, and then there's ones that perhaps you might want to reproduce with one day and, start something with, who knows. But you cannot miscategorize. It's all about properly categorizing. And if you can properly categorize, then you're not going to feel this need, this bitter need to always condemn this kind of behavior, which, again, we naturally feel is disgusting. There's nothing wrong with feeling that it's disgusting. That's why our ancestors were successful in evolution. It's completely natural that you're disgusted by these hoe stories that you see on TikTok or Instagram Reels. It's very natural that repulses you as a man. That just means you're a normal functioning man. If you're not repulsed by that behavior, I'd say there's probably something a little bit outlier in your genetics. Like you might have been one of the few people who've came from descendants who somehow, got away with not being disgusted by that stuff. But for the overwhelming majority of men, we are disgusted by certain behaviors, and that's because it was just pragmatic. It's not right or wrong, it just is. That's how evolution is, it's pragmatic. So again, I'm reminding you that it's completely natural, but you need to manage it, because if you go about articulating yourself, yapping about how disgusting this is and condemning this behavior, you know what that signals, motherfucker? It signals that you don't get any of it. You don't get that good end of the stick. You're getting the short end of the stick. If you're a Chad, think about it. If you're a Chad, you love that women are being promiscuous. You love it. It's the best thing in the world because you get to sleep with a bunch of them and you don't have to take them out on dates. You don't have to go through all this effort. It's amazing. It's an amazing thing that this exists. And this isn't a new thing. Prostitution is the oldest profession in the world. Like, there have always been whores. And because the majority of women pass down their DNA, there's always going to be a mix of whores and women who just strictly want one mate. There's always going to be a mix of them in the gene pool. And we talked about in the recent video on the main channel with dual mating strategy how dual mating is going to be more and more successful and all, but we'll try to avoid going down that tangent today. The point is, there's going to be some women in the world that are promiscuous. And you need to accept this. And don't be bitter about it. Embrace it. And just don't miscategorize them. Embrace the fact that there are plenty of promiscuous women, and that's great for you. If you're doing well, at least, you know, whether you're genetically well off or maybe you're just like a 5.5, but you know, you're money maxed and status maxed. Whatever is the case, a lot of guys could benefit and, you know, enjoy life, have a lot of fun, make lots of great memories because of these promiscuous women. It's a great thing. Learn to embrace it. Stop hating on it. I see these YouTubers all the time, and it's actually like one of the most popular genres on YouTube for men to condemn promiscuity. And it's because there are so many men out there who aren't getting any of it. And so it feels good to resonate with someone like the YouTuber who's condemning it. Those men who are getting none of it, they feel like a bit of comfort and like relief when someone is condemning it and they're like, yeah, you know, like, fuck those women, you know? And you don't want to be that guy. You really don't. Like, yes, it's natural that some of this stuff is disgusting. Like, I'll admit, you know, sometimes it is just even like a little bit too much for me. Like, some girls, you know, like I get so turned off by that because of some behavior I see in their life or something. It's just too much. You know, even if they're very, very attractive, sometimes it's just too much. Their behavior is just way too unattractive to even bang them and forget about them. But you can't go about articulating it and condemning it because it's not a good look. Now, we all know in the black pill community that like looks are carrying almost everything. But the way you behave in life still does matter too, because part of how you're perceived from a hypergamous sense is not just your physical looks, but a part of that is how you behave as well, because your behaviors imply where you lie in the sexual dating market as well. So, yeah, obviously, you know, being black-pilled, we know, you know, looks are almost everything. But that doesn't mean if you're taking a test, right, and 90% of the test is multiple choice, that doesn't mean you just skip out on the writing section and get a 0 on that, because that's going to bring down your average. So yeah, like maybe behavior is a small percentage of it, but you still need to act appropriately. Otherwise, it will hurt your perception, and this is something the black pill community just doesn't want to accept. It's like we have to be part of separate camps. Like we have to be part of the red pill camp or the black pill camp, and there's no like nuance in between. And I think it's a lot to do with both red pillars and black pillars don't have a lot of experience on the field. Most people who end up in the manosphere in general don't have a lot of experience. Like whether they're red or black pilled. Mostly black pilled, but yeah, like there's just not a lot of experience with these people who are giving you out the advice. That's a big reason why I'm very open and honest on this channel about my experiences, and then I allow you to draw your own conclusions from the stories I tell. I try to give my conclusions on the female nature aspects of it too, but you know, I give you the facts and I let you guys draw conclusions as well. I think that's some of the most useful data. And I know this is terrible that we're calling it data. You are fucking autistic. We got a retard max. I know. I know. Got a retard max. But, you know, this is just who we are. We're a little bit different. You don't end up on the Julius Perceiver channel if you're a blue-pilled neurotypical guy. It just doesn't happen. So, yeah, you know, the data is valuable to us. Anyway, the main point of this video, because I was just watching some video of some YouTuber who's pretty funny. I don't think he's black-pilled, so he doesn't know much. You know, there's a lot of concepts that obviously like I would disagree with. I've seen like 3 or 4 of his videos, but you know, he's made some funny content, so I checked out the videos, and I could just tell that the overall consensus of the channel is like condemning female promiscuity. And at one point he asked like, wow, these women just like tell these stories unprovoked, and like they don't care that they're gonna end up on a channel like this. Of course they don't care, because they don't care what guys like you think, or guys who watch these videos. Like, they don't care.
Before then, let's take a look at this debauchery that no one asked about.
I went on a date with a guy last night, and we had sex, and in the moment, great sex. No, like, had a good time. I genuinely had a good time. And then I was talking to my friend about it tonight, and I'm recounting what happened, and in my head I'm like, that was kind of like really presumptuous of him to like come inside me and whip his phone out and try to record me. And I'm like recounting things, and I'm like, it was hot in the moment. That's not good. That's actually like super disrespectful, but I liked it. What does that say about me? I don't know. Would do it again.
What does that say about me? It says that you are a whore. I'm surprised that she even has to ask. Good on her for putting this out there to clearly identify herself as one, but some poor guy will still end up marrying her with all of this baggage. Shameful degeneracy. Fellas, I find it absolutely insane that this chick was just sitting in her house by herself. She pulled out her phone and she just decided to tell everybody on the internet this story, completely unprovoked, for no reason. She didn't have to share this information, but she chose to anyway. It's really unbelievable. Whatever happened to shame, man? We need to bring that back, because the way that these chicks just go out there and just tell these stories, and maybe they're not expecting them to go viral or wind up in a video like this or for like a bunch of people to see them, but it's hard to even lean that direction, because why would they be making the video in the first place? Like, they obviously want people to know this, right? With their faces in it. It makes no sense.
Because they don't care what guys like you think, or guys who watch these videos. Like, they don't care. They don't care. They care about Chad, and Chad is not watching these fucking videos. You know, maybe some outlier Chads. I mean, like, one of my best friends. He's one of the biggest supporters, and he's a Chad. So, not all of them, but the majority of Chads are just regular blue-pilled neurotypical guys walking around. You know, they're not watching this kind of content. They're not watching these TikTok hoe stories, really. I mean, maybe here and there, but... And even then, even if Chad came across it, Chad doesn't care, because Chad is just having fun. And the girls are just having fun because they haven't hit, 30 to 35 yet. They don't care. They love the drama. They love getting pumped and dumped, because they know that there's going to be one of those YouTube viewers waiting at the finish line for them, and this YouTube viewer probably has seen all this content.
Give a single girl some dating advice. What would you say to her?
How old?
Let's say she's like 21.
Oh, 21. Just bang them all. Bang them all, because men are so immature. Bang dudes quietly. Don't tell everybody. Shut the about it. Just go do your business. Keep the solid dudes in your back pocket. Like, befriend them, but don't or date them or nothing until you're kind of like older and you're ready to like settle down with a boy. Yeah, and call that guy up, like that one you had your eyes on. And I'd be like, "What's up, dude?"
Maybe he's even came across her TikTok before of her admitting to these promiscuous behaviors before she deletes them at the ripe age of 34. Maybe he's even seen them, but he's still gonna take the deal. Because what the fuck else is he gonna do? And she knows this. All the girls know the situation in the dating market. They know. So they're gonna have their fun now, no fucking shame, because there's no consequences in the modern environment. Like, could you even blame them? There's no shame, and then by the time they get older, there's gonna be some beta provider waiting for them at the finish line. Now, I'm not going to say whether that's the most eugenic approach for them, you know, probably would have been better for them to behave and then maybe actually get a Chad to settle with them. You know, we're not going to go down that rabbit hole, but this is like the thought process of most women. It's like they accept that they're not going to get Chad tied down, so they're just like, all right, I'm going to have some fun in my youth. And then there's going to be some beta provider waiting for me at the finish line. And it's going to be those fucking YouTube viewers of the guy's channel who know all this, who are aware of this because they're beta providers and they're not getting anything. So they're the ones in the manosphere obsessing over all this stuff. Which is ironic because, like, I'm obsessing over all this stuff too. I'm fucking retarded, holy shit.
Of those females are stuck with doofy. That is why
Rewatching an old rehab room video.
Women just
The pink pill.
doofy. Someone they can use and abuse in their
And I just gotta add,
doofy is a servant.
you think they don't know, bro? Really? You think these girls are all, like, actually completely retarded? Believe it or not, some of them actually are relatively intelligent and they just choose to act promiscuous because it's fun to them. Like, they just enjoy it. They know that Chad is not going to settle with them. And I don't care, though. It's fun to them. They love to get pumped and dumped. They love to cry over the summer. They love to complain and have, you know, some drama in their life. I know Tails said the same thing in some community post. It's so true. Like, dude, they know. They know deep down that Chad is not going to settle. When they shoot that far up, it's just fun to them. And then they know that it's like they're playing with house's money in the lottery at the casino, because it's like, well, you know, I probably won't get Chad to settle, but I'm still going to have fun in my youth. And then if it doesn't work out, oh, well, there'll be some Beta Bucks Deluxe waiting for me in my 30s. So I'm good anyway. I'm safe. So might as well have fun now, right? Like, dude, you gotta know. You gotta know the truth. They're actually not all retarded. They know what the deal is. They know. Moral of the story, you don't want to be those guys. You don't want to be the bitter guys who are not getting anything. Even if you really aren't getting anything, you don't want to appear that way. You don't want to be the guy who's complaining about this, because what does that imply? It implies you're not getting it. What's up, nigga? How you doing? This is my dog. I don't know, is he in frame? Is he? Nah, he's on this side. All right. But it implies that you're not getting anything, so you don't want to do that. Remember, it's okay to be naturally disgusted by this. This is normal. But that doesn't mean you have to go around, like, you know, parading this. Be like Drake. Be like Drake, you know, celebrate the fact that there's girls who want to have fun. Embrace it. And just don't miscategorize them, okay?